Hello guys, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time I saw that RodimusPrimal did a video talking about The Last Night, and I actually wanted to do a video talking about The Last Night again, because the film has come out pretty much a year ago, and since then, my opinion has changed overall on how I feel about the film. I did previously, I did a review, and then I also did a live stream talking about The Last Night with a bunch of other people. It was part of my podcast, and we pretty much went on a 4-hour rant about mostly the problems with The Last Night and what we didn't like about the film, because there was just so much that wasn't that well done. Now, when The Last Night came out, this was the only Transformers film that actually pissed me off. And I know you're probably thinking, well, what about the other films? You know, they have all their problems. And nothing really got to me. Nothing really pissed me off. But this one did. On numerous times. And, yeah, it's just, it became bothersome. But I didn't really think too much of it when I first saw the film. And then later on, I'm starting to realize, okay, that's a problem, that's a problem, that's a problem. And it started to get to me, bit by bit, and a while back, I rewatched the film, and as I'm watching it, I'm starting to realize that, yeah, this film's not that good, to the point where, by the time the film ended, I started to realize, I hate this film. I hate this film. I don't consider it a good film. I consider it an embarrassment to films. You know, I don't like pinning the blame on Michael Bay completely, because I'm not sure exactly what he does for the film, or whether or not he actually respects the Transformers or whatnot. I don't know him personally, so whatever. But every time I saw a behind-the-scenes video or him talking about the film, he looks absolutely bored out of his mind. He doesn't look like he's into it at all. He really just doesn't. He feels like he's put up with this franchise for a long time now, and is pretty much just like he has no reason to do this film. And I know someone's gonna say, well, he just wants money. I don't know that. Maybe he does want to make a good film. But, yeah, for this one, it just doesn't feel like he did a good job. Let's talk about some of the good things. I like some of the designs of the characters, like Cogman, the Knights. I feel like them having a more flat look with all the details is nice, and feels a little bit more smooth, and like you can collect the idea of what this character looks like, and I think that was fantastic. Megatron's design is probably my favorite out of any of the Megatrons. With this knight look, with this sword, his fusion cannon, it almost makes him look like a dark, evil goblin thing, and I thought, oh, that is a creative-looking Megatron, and I loved it. Optimus Prime design from Age of Extinction, I still like. I know some people don't. When I first saw it, I didn't really like it, but I started to grow into it, and I feel like, you know, as far as a design for Michael Bay's films, this is actually a pretty good design. You know, something to make it distinct to the movie franchise. I thought, yeah, this is pretty cool. I like it. Would be nice if he could carry around the you know, the blasters more often, rather than the sword and the shield, because I don't hate the sword and the shield, but it just, I don't know, I kind of miss the blasters. But other than that, I thought this Optimus Prime design was neat. Going back to the original aesthetic for Bumblebee compared to Age of Extinction, I thought that was cool because that feels a little more iconic. Crosshairs I still like, Hound I still like, Drift is black with dark red. He's okay, but he's not my favorite design in the film. Yeah, I think that is... Oh, and Anthony Hopkins, I do enjoy watching him. Even though the plot is kind of shitty, I still do enjoy him kind of having a laugh and just doing whatever. Like, he could pretty much do anything in this film and I'll enjoy it. Even if he would know that this movie is shit, he feels like he's having fun with it. I feel like he understands what could make Transformers good the most out of anyone in this film. Now let's talk about the problems. There is so much that I hate about this film in comparison to the previous films. I don't care for Quintessa at all. She is mostly just exposition. She's not even a character, really. At least to me, I don't consider her a character. The staff in this film has more character than she does. I hate her because all she is exposition. There is so much in this film that is dedicated to just marketing. Optimus Prime going evil. Pretty much 2 minutes of the film, and after a while you just don't care about it. It could last throughout the film, and it could be a huge impact, but no, it's pretty much just done in 2 minutes. The whole, God, I don't like this film. The whole Izzy thing was pretty much dropped within like 20 minutes of the film. There is so much in the film that has been dropped, but the Izzy thing really bothers me because all of that is marketing. They made a whole trailer, in fact a couple of trailers and TV spots dedicated to this character that doesn't do jack shit in this film. She is pretty much there just to be the little girl so that the little girls can go see this film, I guess. Or something. And that's pretty much it. Because she doesn't do anything else. I don't hate the actress. I will say that. I think the actress did okay in this film. I just hate the fact that this character is even involved with the film because she doesn't need to be involved with the film. Don't even get me started on the Decepticons. Oh, but what about that Suicide Squad-like scene in The Last Night with Megatron trying to recruit all his Decepticons? That was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, it reminded me of another shitty film with Decepticons that don't really do anything. In fact, about a couple of minutes later, they all die. Or most of them die. Onslaught, Dreadbot, Mohawk. They all get wiped out in the film. And then a couple of minutes later, Megatron's pretty much dropped from the film entirely, and Barricade is too. I don't care for that scene because it doesn't do anything. Except, hey, look, Decepticons! Now you know their names. Now we're giving them character, right? Just because you give them names doesn't mean, oh, now he's got character. Now I'm involved. I thought Onslaught was the biggest insult in this film because you have a character that a lot of people love, a Combaticon, the leader of the Combaticons, and they don't give a shit about Onslaught. I wanted Onslaught to be in the films, now I want them to take it back. In fact, last minute in this film, they should have decided, you know what, we're not giving that much justice to Onslaught, let's change his name to something else. Because there's so many characters in this film that are just made up now all of a sudden. Cogman, Dreadbot, Berserker, Mohawk, all just made up now. They don't care about any previous Transformers, just, hey, look at these. We don't care who they are. Why should you? I see people say, oh, I want a Studio Series Mohawk and Onslaught and whatnot. And I'm just like, why? Because first of all, Studio Series just came up. Would you prefer a Soundwave that you could get? Over an Onslaught that didn't really do anything? I find it hilarious that people want Dreadbot over Soundwave or Sideswipe or Q or Dino. You want that over them? It's like, why? I think the most hilarious one is people want a Studio Series Canopy. Why? What do you even transform into? Just get Payload and put some trash over it. There you go. That's pretty much it. That's all it is. And then the whole ending credits scene. People want another film because of the end credits scene. Left it open and they don't know what's going to happen. I couldn't care less what happens after this film. I could not care less because one, again, Quintessa's barely even a character, and two, the whole Unicron thing is stupid. Now you're probably saying, well, they did that in Transformers Prime and you didn't seem to have a problem with it. Transformers Prime at least had... it at least explained itself. It respected the plot enough to explain itself. In this film, it's just, oh, there. Unicron is Earth. I find it hilarious when Anthony Hopkins is like, oh, it's Unicron, of course! And I'm just like, what? What? Just because he did it in Transformers Prime does not mean that everyone is going to follow through with it. Doesn't mean that everyone's going to catch up on it, because most moviegoers probably haven't even watched Transformers Prime. And then you dump this on them? It's stupid! It really is stupid. And I started to realize something, and this was the point where I actually decided, okay, I hate this film. The staff itself. Why is that made? It wasn't made specifically to kill Unicron? And why... It seems like Transformers can use the staff no problem, but they need a human to get the staff, and it's imprinted with her blood and shit like that, and it's like... Why? Why is it like that? In fact, why did the Knights give it to Merlin in the first place? Like, think about it. Why? Also, what's the point of that little, talisman thing? Like, seriously, why did Megatron need the talisman? He needed the staff, not the talisman. The talisman doesn't really lead them to the staff. I find that hilarious when Anthony Hopkins is like, oh yeah, you need the talisman to... Or Megatron's like, we need the talisman to lead us to the staff. It's like, no, you need that chick. That chick led you to the staff. What the hell did Mark Wahlberg do? It became a sword. That's it. Ooh. It protected him from a couple of bullets, but as far as the overall plot, it doesn't really do anything. Maybe I missed something, but I didn't really notice. I didn't really pick up on anything. It just seemed like, oh, there's the talisman. It will lead you to the staff. But also it doesn't. Squeaks is pointless too. There's so many characters that are pointless. Oh, you wanted to see more of the Dinobots? Nope. Oh, you wanted to see Crosshair's Drift and Hound? Nope. Instead, you get to see more of Bumblebee, which is already going to have a movie following up with this, and they even dump Bumblebee in this. There's a scene where they're in that night ship thing or whatever, and then Bumblebee has to go another way around, which is pretty much just an excuse not to have Bumblebee in a certain scene. And then all of a sudden, Bumblebee just shows up anyways. And then there's another bit where Cogman just kind of disappears. And I'm not talking about when Anthony Hopkins' character dies, which, oh, sorry for the spoilers, but I don't think you give a shit about this film. No, but sorry for the spoilers. I think I'll put spoiler in the description or something. I mean, this film has been out for a year. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when they're in the night ship, Cogman just disappears. Like, he could follow with Cade and with whoever her name is, but he just is gone. And I don't get it. The fight scene with Bumblebee and Barricade was a shit show. Because all that happens is, oh yeah, Barricade chases down Bumblebee, and then he gets shot, and that's it. Oh, we waited for this for 10 years! 10 years! We get more action out of Bumblebee and Barricade in the fucking Sonics commercial! And Coke commercial! Now, you could say all you want, well, this film was going to extend off, and it was going to have a lot more to it, but they decided to condense it for time. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Doesn't make the final product good. And then Steve Score, I can't really say his name, Steve's score in this film isn't really that interesting. There's like 2 pieces of music, and that's it, that I actually really enjoyed. Everything else was just kind of bland, and you could put it in any other film and it wouldn't really matter. In fact, I probably wouldn't even notice. Just by comparison with all the previous other films, especially Revenge of the Fallen score. If you don't like that film, that's fine, but I think that's Either that or Dark of the Moon has the best score. This just didn't really feel like it's got much to it. And I think that's because he had to do this last minute or something like that. I don't know. I'm so glad that Michael Bay decided, hey, this is going to be my last film. And I know someone's going to say, well, it's probably not going to be his last film. We haven't heard anything about Transformers 6 or the follow-up to this film. So I guess he is done this time. Hopefully. Because I hated this film. And then let's talk about the ending. Okay, so the last 5 minutes. That was fun. Because all this shit is being thrown everywhere. You got to see Megatron versus Optimus Prime. While it's pretty quick, it's cool. And just all this shit gets thrown everywhere and whatnot. That I actually enjoy. That I find, I actually have a lot of fun with. But then the last minute happens. And the Autobots just jet off and is like, okay, we gotta repair Cybertron. Okay, so what's the point of Quintessa's plot to destroy Earth? Which, by the way, they so briefly explain about how Earth would be destroyed if they do this. They so briefly talk about it that it pretty much just gets to the point where, okay, you understand the fact that Earth would be destroyed, right? Okay, moving on. But anyways, what kind of bothers me about that, and I'm probably not looking into this deep enough, is that, okay, Quintessa's plot is to drain Unicron, and it would destroy Earth, but it would save Cybertron. Okay, but by the end of the film, it seems like they're going to repair Cybertron anyways. So is Quintessa's plot kind of useless? Maybe Quintessa's trying to go the easy way out, but the problem with that is she doesn't really explain it enough. She just speaks in quick exposition and, oh, there. By the way, you could pretty much tell me all the explanations of why Optimus Prime turned, but every time I watch the film, it just kind of feels like it just happens. That Optimus Prime just turned. I know someone's going to say, well, Quintessa did this to him. If you just watch the film, it just basically looks like he just turns. So that's going to leave a lot of people confused. I know, most of this you can pretty much argue with, I'm sure. But it doesn't take time enough to do certain things. It brings in a couple of cool things, but then it kind of drops it off and doesn't care about it. The whole film just doesn't care. I think that's my problem, is the whole film doesn't care. It just does whatever. I mean, even in the final fight scene, you got the Autobots and the Ospreys flying around everywhere, just shooting a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't even know what's going on. I usually can follow up with the Transformers films like Dark of the Moon and Revenge of the Fallen and whatnot. I could pretty much figure out, okay, that's where the good guys are, there's Sideswipe, there's whatever else. I can pretty much figure it out. With this film, everything's just flying around in the distance and shooting stuff, and you can't really figure out what the hell is going on. You literally can't. The first time when I'm watching this film, I can't figure out what the hell's going on. Where's the bad guy ship? Where's the bad guys in general? They're just so out in the distance that all you're just watching is just things shooting at other things. In fact, sometimes you can't even figure out that they're just shooting at things if it wasn't just for the sound effects. I don't like this film. If you like the film, fine. I don't get why you like this film. I really don't. It's an embarrassment, is what it is. To me, this film is just an embarrassment. It really is. I don't care for this film. I really don't. This is the worst of the Transformers. And I know someone's going to pinpoint Revenge of the Fallen. Revenge of the Fallen might be dumb, but at least I had fun with it. At least I enjoyed something from it. With this, it's like 2 things I can enjoy. 3 maybe. And that's it. Everything else is just I don't care about, or I just hate it. I don't even know why I sort of liked this film in the beginning. Maybe it was because, ooh, new Transformers stuff. Cool. But now it's just, I really don't give a shit. This film sucks. This film sucks. If I'm allowed to change my mind and not be considered a hypocrite for saying this, the film just sucks. I don't like it. I really don't. If you like it, fine, but I don't get why you do. I'm not gonna dog on anyone who likes this film. I'm just gonna say I don't get it. I really don't. There's too much that I just hate in this film. Usually I can see past the problems and just enjoy it for what it is. This one I can't. The last time I saw this, I didn't have fun. I hated it too much. The whole Unicron thing, shit. The whole fact that it just doesn't want to explain certain things, shit. Quintessa, shit. Staff, shit. Talisman, shit. The fact that he constantly wants to dump shit and then forget it, shit. I will say one of the best things about this film that people probably didn't catch on is that the guy who says that Cade is being racist, I feel like that's almost an inside joke to the Michael Bay films. But maybe that's just me. Other than that, Cogman's cool. Anthony Hopkins is fun. The first 3 minutes of the last 5 minutes is fun. I don't give a shit about the end credits scene. I don't give a shit about Onslaught, Dreadbot, whoever else. I don't care for this film. It sucks. Bumblebee movie, I'm actually excited for. And the reason why is because it feels like it's going to focus on the character. But the reason why I'm excited for Bumblebee, the Bumblebee movie, is it feels like it's got a reason to focus. This doesn't. Like the film or hate it, you know, that's up to you. I see people say that this film is like the best one, is like a tribute to all the Transformers films. I don't know where you're getting that from. I really don't. But whatever, I guess. You know, this is my opinion. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. I just don't. I just don't like this film. Anyways, with that said, I thank you guys for watching.